الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. يا ربي لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك عظيم سلطانك. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله، بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الله به الغمة وجاهد في سبيل ربه حتى أتاه اليقين. فاللهم اجزه عنا وعن والدينا وعن الإسلام والمسلمين خير ما جازيت به نبيا عن قومه ورسولا عن أمته. اللهم أحينا على سنته وتوفنا على ملته وأوردنا حوضه واسقنا من يده الشريفة شربة هنيئة لا نظمأ بعدها أبدا. ثم أما بعد, my dear respected brothers and sisters, we are very complex creation. And part of this complexity is that we have this duality between our spirit and our body, and also our inward and outward, sir and al-alaniya, secret and apparent. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repeatedly tells us and reminds us that He judges us based on both inward and outward. Most of the acts of worship and ibadat made actually to achieve this idea of tazkiyah, and tazkiyah actually of the heart, focusing more on purifying and improving our inward, as-sirr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us clearly, وَإِن تُبْدُوا مَا فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَوْ تُخْفُوهُ يُحَاسِبُكُم بِهِ اللَّهُ. Whether you show whatever in your heart or you conceal it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring you to account for it. إِنَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ. He knows exactly what's in your heart, even if you don't speak about it, if you don't bring it out. إِنَّهُ يَعْلَمُ السِّرَّ وَأَخْفَى. He knows the secrets and even what's more hidden than the secrets. We judge people, we build relationships with others based on what appears to us, al-alaniya, what's visible, what we can see and taste and judge. And we leave the rest for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that. When someone says, I'm Muslim, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammad Rasulullah, then this is enough for us to consider this person a Muslim. What was in his or her heart, that's Allah's business, not ours. وَإِن تُبْدُوا مَا فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَوْ تُخْفُوهُ يُحَاسِبُكُم بِهِ اللَّهُ فَيَغْفِرُ لِمَن يَشَاءُ وَيُعَذِّبُ مَن يَشَاءُ. And because sincerity is the spirit of every act of worship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not accept any act of worship unless we are sincere in it. And again, sincerity is the act of the heart that nobody can see. Many people appear to be righteous, but once you start dealing with them, then what's inside comes out. We can hide it for some time, but we cannot hide it forever. One of the beautiful du'as of the Prophet ﷺ is that Allahumma ja'al sirri khayran min alaniyati. Ya Allah, please make my inward better than my outward. Waj'al alaniyati khayran, and make my outward good and righteous. So now people are can categorize people into three. One is that those whose inward is better than outward, and this is the maqam of the anbiya and the siddiqeen. They care not about what their outward look like, and they don't want to please people. They want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They work hard on their hearts, and you may see them, but you don't really appreciate what they do. You don't know who they are, and you don't understand how righteous these people are, but they don't care, because what they do is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In fact, they used to hide their good deeds as we hide our bad deeds. That was part of their norm. They don't go and talk about what they do in secret. And that's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, رُبَّ أَشْعَثَ أَغْبَرْ مَرْدُودٍ بِالْأَبْوَابِ لَا يُؤْبَهُ لَهُ لَوْ أَقْسَمَ عَلَى اللَّهِ أَبَرَّهُ. There could be a person that nobody cares about him, nobody listens to him. But when he makes an oath to Allah, Allah will respect his oath, and Allah will do exactly what he wants. That's how dear this person is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the opposite is true also. Some people look very righteous, but their inward is ruined. So the first category is that those whose inward is better than their outward. And in fact, there's a school, Sufi school of thought in Islam known as al-malamatiyya. Malamatiyya means that they intentionally do things, not haram, but inappropriate, in order to lose any value in the eyes of the people. That's part of their practice, that they don't want to have any high status in the eyes of the people. So they would do something that inappropriate in a way. I'm not suggesting that, but these people, they eat in public and they raise their voice sometimes, so people lose some respect to them. And the second is that those whose inward is equal to their outward. They are the same people. What they do in public is what they do in private. These are the righteous people. Righteous people. They do in private what they do in public. So there's no difference. What you see is what's really is inside of them. They don't make things up, they don't exaggerate, they don't like to look more righteous than who they are. And the third, and that's the worst of course, are those whose inward is much worse than their outward. And this is one of the characteristics of the munafiqeen. They like to appear in a certain way, but what's inside is evil. And sometimes we are so much attracted to perfecting our outward, and we ignore the inward because nobody sees it. Even though we know that Allah knows about it. But we want to look in a certain way. We want to produce a particular image so that people will accept us and they consider us righteous. Sometimes we do that. We pay more attention to the outward than the inward. This even applies to the act of worship. When you talk about any act of worship, salah, siyam, we focus on the outward things. How to make perfect ruku' and perfect sujood and where to put your hand and all these things. We pay so much attention to the outward. But often we neglect what's even more important, which is the inward, the sincerity, the khushu'. You go for Hajj, you have tons of questions about what you can wear, what you can do this, can you do that, which is important. But very few are concerned about the inward. How can this Hajj change me from inside, make me a better person? And because of this duality, the scholars, great scholars, used to advise each other. As Ubayd al-Jazari actually wrote, and Imam Ibn Abi Dunya wrote in his book Al-Ikhlas. He said that when scholars meet each other or write letters to each other, they used to remind each other with this beautiful reminder. من أصلح سره أصلح الله علانيته ومن أصلح ما بينه وبين الله أصلح الله ما بينه وبين الناس ومن اهتم بأمر آخرته كفاه الله أمر دنياه. Three beautiful advice. He who perfects his inward, his secret, Allah will perfect his appearance. And whoever perfects his relationship with Allah, Allah will perfect his relationship with people. And whoever cares more about al-akhirah, Allah will take care of his dunya. Beautiful advice. Those who perfect their secrets, Allah will perfect their appearance. Just work hard on yourself, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of you. Allah will make you look good. And Allah will make people love you. As the hadith in Bukhari, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when Allah loves someone, He tells Jibreel, I love this person, so love him. And Jibreel loves him. And Jibreel calls the people in heaven and tells them, Allah loves this person, so love him. Everybody in the heaven will love him. And then وَيُوضَعُ لَهُ الْقَبُولُ فِي الْأَرْضِ. People will love him. Why? Nobody knows, but people will love them. And the opposite is true. So, مَنْ أَصْلَحَ سِرَّهُ أَصْلَحَ اللَّهُ عَلَانِيَتَهُ ومن أصلح ما بينه وبين الناس أصلح الله ومن أصلح ما بينه وبين الله أصلح الله ما بينه وبين. Don't worry so much about how people look at you and how people judge you. This should not be your intention. Have a good relationship with Allah. Allah will take care of your relationship with people. And in the hadith, whoever tries to please people, By displeasing Allah, Allah will be displeased with him, and people eventually will be displeased with him. And whoever pleases Allah by displeasing people, Allah will be pleased with him, and eventually people will be pleased with him. Don't worry, especially when it comes to public figures, scholars. That's why scholars used to remind each other, because they work very hard, and you don't want all this hard working to be gone in vain. وَمَنْ اهتم بأمر آخرته, and he who cares about his akhirah, Allah will take care of his dunya. In other words, don't worry so much about what people think about you. Don't worry so much about your relationship with people. Don't worry so much about your dunya. This is how scholars should think. Real scholars. What is unfortunate that sometimes even some scholars, people who are considered role models for others, they have their dark side, because we don't know everything about anybody. We know only 1%, 2%, 3%, 5%. When you see someone always preaching or writing or speaking, then you think his entire life like this. That's not true. That's not true. And it is stunning and shocking for the community when someone who is considered righteous or leading the righteous believers, Allah reveals or exposes the dark side of this person. That is shocking. That's very bad. But we as Muslims, we do not see Islam walking flesh and blood and bones. Islam not a human. Islam is a set of ethical values and principles. Some people are sincerely following Islam and some do not. Some have these two faces, two lives. One that appears to people, it's beautiful, nice, eloquent, but the other is not. The other is not. And some people are very good in doing this. Some people are very good in producing this beautiful image that has nothing to do with the reality. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from this. They preach something and they do something else. They preach one thing and they go and do something else. And one of the great blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon all of us is that the veil He covers us with. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala covers most of our sins. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to talk to each other or see each other out of shame. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so generous and merciful, and He does not allow others to know everything about us. But sometimes when we misuse this blessing of Allah's cover, sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remove this cover and people will get to know who this person is. When they brought to Umar radiallahu anhu someone who stole something, and this person was crying and begging Umar for forgiveness, he said, "This is the first time, please forgive." He said, "No, you are lying." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never exposes someone from the first time. It cannot be the first time. The beautiful dua of the Prophet and the adhkar we say in the morning and the evening, Allahumma inni asbahtu minka fi ni'matin wa afiyatin wa sitr. Morning has come to me, Ya Allah, while I'm enjoying your blessings and your afiyah, well-being, and sitr, your cover. That's something we should pray for, to continue to cover us in this life and the life after. Not to allow others to know our faults, our sins. So even famous people that we look as role models, yeah, it happens all the time. And this could be a test for us, whether we are following a person or are following principles and values. This is exactly what Abu Bakr as-Siddiq said when the Muslim community could not believe that Muhammad is dead, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he made this very profound statement. For those who worship Muhammad, they didn't know that Muhammad is dead. And for those who worship Allah, should know that Allah never dies. Despite our extreme love to our beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, but we don't worship. We have to draw the line. We do not worship Muhammad. He is our leader, our role model, sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we love him and we follow him, but we don't worship him. And I'm afraid this idea of idol worshipping, it still exists. People worship scholars or speakers, and this notion of rock star scholars and speakers, part of the capitalistic life we live. I don't want to name anybody, but we should know that people have their own private life, and we should judge people based on what we know about them. That's why Rasulullah ﷺ told us when he heard someone, hadith in Bukhari and Muslim, he heard someone praising someone else. And the Prophet ﷺ said, woe to you, you have broken the neck of your friend, you have broken the neck of your friend. Now, if you have to praise someone, you must say this. The Prophet ﷺ said, that I think him to be so and so. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. I think this person is a righteous person, but this is what I know. أحسبه كذلك. I think he is. والله حسيبه ولا أزكي على الله أحد. Another narration, and no one can sanctify anybody before Allah. Don't be 100% certain. Don't trust someone 100% because you don't know this person 100%. Yes, we love and respect people based on what we know about them. But people make mistakes. Will we follow them when they make mistakes? That's a test for us. Oh, but this person is a great scholar. He wrote 20 books, 50 books. Okay, so do we follow principles or follow individuals? We follow principles. These principles found in the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So sometimes we as a community will be tested by seeing some people that we thought are so righteous doing horrible things. We should not be shocked. Yeah, we feel sad, but we just need to move forward. Because we don't have any more prophets living with us. After Muhammad ﷺ, no more prophets. No one is infallible. And this could also be another reminder for us that we should be really concerned whether we have two faces or not, two lifestyles or not. Remember this dua. Allahumma ja'al sirri khayran min alaniyati. Ya Allah, make my inward better than my outward. قولوا قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. Brothers and sisters, before I end, I just want to let you know that the second semester for the Heart and Mind Youth Program, inshallah, will start next Friday, January 11th, and this will start with a workshop by Majid Mubin, who is going to be speaking about building excellence before the college. So we want really to empower our high school youth with whatever tools and knowledge they need to have excellence in college, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is a professional speaker who spoke about this subject in many different places, including IAGD a while ago. So he will come, inshallah, next Friday to speak to our youth about building excellence before college. And again, those who did not register in the first semester, it was a great success. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, our youth loved it, and they, alhamdulillah, we have 100 people registered, boys and girls. So if you are in high school or your children are in high school, inshallah, please go ahead and register them. The meeting, we meet at 7 p.m. until Isha, and then after Isha we have fun activities. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect all our children and to help us serve them. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى اللهم إنا نسألك رزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا اللهم أصلح لنا ديننا الذي هو عصمة أمرنا، وأصلح لنا دنيانا التي فيها معاشنا، وأصلح لنا آخرتنا التي إليها معادنا. اللهم اجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير، واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر، يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث. فأصلح لنا شأننا كله، اللهم لا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين ولا إلى أحد من الناس يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعل سرنا خيرا من علانيتنا، واجعل علانيتنا خيرا يا رب العالمين. اللهم إنا نعوذ برضاك من سخطك، وبمعافاتك من عقوبتك، ونعوذ بك منك لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك، تبارك اسمك وتعالى جدك ولا إله غيرك. اللهم اشفنا واشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين، وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين، وانصر الإسلام وعز المسلمين. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت، وعافنا فيمن عافيت، وتولنا فيمن توليت، وقنا واصرف عنا برحمتك شر ما قضيت. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.